Welcome to my channel, and today we're going to talk about mastering the mortgage game. 5 simple tips for a low interest rate approval. If you're in the housing market right now and you're looking to purchase a home, we're going to show you how to secure a low interest rate, so stay tuned for some game-changing tips that will put you ahead of the competition. Buying the home of your dreams, the American dream, right? It's constantly something that I strive for, something that as a first-generation immigrant that my parents had to live through many years of my life into my teens before we finally secured a mortgage for their home. And I really felt that it was really important with the high interest rates right now to kind of give you some tips to give you the best interest rate going straight into the mortgage qualification process. So tip 1 is improving your credit score. Obviously, one of the biggest challenges that we see up front before we do any verification of income or assets, we're looking at credit. And that credit is all on your credit score as well as on your credit report. So what lenders do is we take a look at your credit and we assess your credit worthiness. We are looking to make sure that you pay your bills on time, you have debts that are not maxed out or over 50% utilization. We want to see how often you've been opening new lines of credit. I recently had a customer. She had like bankruptcies in the past, and then she's had some overdrafts. Like the bankruptcies were easy to overcome. We met the timing requirement. And then it's like, you know, she had a $1,400 housing payment and she's getting ready to sign up for a $2,500 housing payment, which is fine. You know, that's called payment shock. However, she started going overdraft on her bank account. Significantly, you know, multiple times. And when we started seeing that, the underwriter was like, that's bad, let's overcome that. There was a letter of explanation that was written. And then finally, you know, the straw that broke the camel's back was when we went to re-pull the credit report right before closing, we see that there are 3 new accounts that are opened up, 3 new credit cards that are opened up, $2,500 credit limits. And guess what? All 3 of those accounts were maxed out. So based on all the data that we've kind of overcome, in the end, the utilization totally killed this deal. The consumer had already shown the inability to pay their bills on time, and now you're pulling out 3 credit cards that are worth a total of $7,500, and they're all darn near maxed out. That's really bad. So always, when going through this process, reduce debt and improve your credit score. And what happens is with a healthy credit score, that's going to give you more loan options. It's going to give you a lower interest rate and typically more favorable loan terms. Tip number 2 is to save for your down payment. Skin in the game. We've all heard of that, right? You know, the more you have to lose, the more you're going to care about what you have. If you save for a substantial down payment, a larger down payment typically demonstrates to that lender that you have financial responsibility. You've shown the ability to save, even if you had payment shock, you put that money away. And the aim for you would be ideally to put 20% down. However, I would say consult with your loan officer to see where the mix of that money should be used. So typically one of the first questions that I have for my consumers is, what is your squealing point on the amount that you can put into this home? And typically they would say, okay, well, I have $30,000 to put down on this $200,000 house. $30,000 is not 20% down, right? And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. You could put 5% down on that same mortgage, and then you could use the remaining funds for closing costs and maybe to pay off some of the debt so we can lower your debt to income ratio and in turn give you a better interest rate. Tip number 3 is to shop. Shop around and compare interest rates. Because I'll tell you right now, I'm the biggest shopper in the world, right? Regardless of what it is, it could be something as little as looking at my sales ads. Why do we look at sales ads, right? On weekly sales ads for grocery stores? Because we want to see what's on sale and we want to compare it. Like in my town, we only have 2 major grocery stores within a 20-minute drive of my house. So I want to make sure that I'm comparing everything that's out there. And you know, a lot of times it saves me quite a bit of money. But with that being said, make sure you're shopping with at least one wholesale mortgage lender, which is what I do. And then if you're with a retail or any type of organization, make sure we're shopping the interest rates that same day. Because if we're shopping it that same day, The interest rates do tend to fluctuate quite a bit throughout the day. So that same day within the same hour would be ideal when you're shopping for the rates and terms. So make sure you're researching multiple options to find the best deal that's going to suit you from a product, pricing, and speed standpoint, because all three of those factors are going to determine whether you're going to be able to win the offer on the house that you love or not get it. Tip number 4. I would say this is very important. When going through the process of getting qualified, a lot of times that information that you give to the lender, you're pre-qualified. That means we have verified, your credit and the information that you put on that loan application. I would seriously consider getting pre-approved. Pre-approved is definitely the game changer. It's going to give you the edge in house hunting process, because when the listing agent, who is the person that's listing the home that you want to buy, and your agent that is showing you around to different houses, calls the lender is going to have to tell them the truth, right? If I have you pre-qualified, I'm going to tell the realtors that you're pre-qualified and you're not pre-approved. Pre-approved means that we've verified all of your income, asset, and liability docs. And what it really does is it shows the seller that you're a serious buyer, and it allows for you to kind of act quickly when you find your dream home. So we don't have to say, oh yeah, we're chasing down these docs, this, and that, right? Perfect example of 2 borrowers I'm helping out right now. One borrower literally gave me everything all up front. She's been the gold standard of borrowers. Whenever conditions come out, we call her, email her, Zoom her, and she's giving us the documents within 24 hours for everything. She's the dream consumer. With that dream consumer, I'm able to take a lower lock term. So locks are typically in 15-day increments, 15, 30, 45, and 60. And the lower the term of lock, like 15 days, is going to be way cheaper than a 60-day lock or a 45-day lock. With this consumer, I'm able to take her on a quicker lock. And when she did her negotiation process, because she was fully pre-approved, I was able to talk to the seller of the home and say, look, this is truly the gold standard. Like, there's no reason for us to think that this loan is not going to be approved. Whereas another consumer that I'm working with filled out an application, and we have been pounding him to get us the documents, like literally emails, texts, calls, almost every day. This borrower went under contract around the beginning of July, and we're still going through the process of closing the loan because documents have been coming in slow. Documents such as assets that we were told that could be used could not be used because those values have decreased significantly. So now we're having to get gifts and other factors to be able to get this loan to the finish line. And realistically, I don't think we're going to be able to close until the end of next week. Tip number 5 is to work with a knowledgeable loan officer or mortgage broker. It's very, very important that you're doing that. If you work with someone that only does like one loan every 2 months, a lot of times they may not be doing the loan that you are applying for. So they may not be doing that FHA loans all the time, or VA loans, or USDA loans, and they may just be a conventional loan person, right? Also, when you overcome challenges, someone that's seasoned can figure out ways around any underwriting condition that may be a challenge that you may feel is a challenge. So I really think that working with that seasoned mortgage broker or mortgage loan officer, making sure that they do a decent amount of volume, because there are almost 3 million NMLS numbers out there right now. And because of that, there's a lot of people that are so-called loan officers that they may be working on a loan, and you may be one of their first, trial loans to see if it'll stick. And I will tell you right now, when I go through the home buying process, I would definitely, choose a loan officer. If I'm not in that state and we can't do it in that state, then I would definitely choose a loan officer that has a lower NMLS number, one that has good reviews online, and one that has done the type of loan that I am looking for, because they will be able to navigate you through the mortgage landscape, help you find the best loan options that are kind of tailored to your needs, and they'll kind of guide you through the process. It's almost like having a personal shopper that will guarantee a smooth approval and better negotiations. This can be a very daunting process, and I totally get it. So remember, when mastering the mortgage game, It definitely takes time and effort, but it can save you thousands and thousands of dollars in the long run. Make sure you follow these 5 tips and you'll be well on your way to securing a low interest rate in this volatile market. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell for any new videos that come out, and feel free to give me a call if you have any questions or concerns. My name is David 𝐬𝐲. I can be reached at 757-478-8493. There's a link below with my Calendly link that you can schedule a time directly on my calendar. And I'm just saying, give me a call. Talk to you later.